Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished, very distinguished panel, I thank you. I was surprised to learn today that my friends in Ashraf are actually watching, so I'm going to take a moment to say hello to them. I have, for everybody to read, some copies of an article I did recently called Trapped by Politics. Sometimes I'm asked why I'm still engaged on the issue with the MEC. And I always cite back to what warriors fight for. Quite often I'm asked, are we fighting for the nation? Are we fighting for the Constitution? Are we fighting for the flag? I turn to my distinguished fellow warriors and ask them to please confirm with me. When we're engaged in combat, we are serving the nation, we are defending the Constitution, we are rallying to the flag, and we are fighting for the ones on our left and the ones on our right. I think, General Clark, you would agree. We fight for the one on the left and the right. And that, having served with the Mojahedin as the base commander, prior to that, working with the Mojahedin as the J3 of detention operations, and even when I was the anti-terrorism officer for Operation Iraqi Freedom 1 and 2, I was well aware of the Mojahedin and the outstanding work that they were doing and how they were cooperating with us. Now, in addition to maintaining the loyalty to the one on the left and the right, which I shared with the Mojahedin many times, I go back to the comment about we serve the nation. Our founding fathers, General Washington and Adams, Jefferson, they gave us the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that we can address the government when we see something being done wrong, that we have the right to assemble, which we are exercising today, and the freedom of speech. We would be poor followers of General Washington and the Founding Fathers if we did not step forward today and say there is something very seriously being done wrong and we need to do something to correct it. The Ashraf residence, that when I arrived, I had found 3,500 people. What I found, built out of the desert, the flat desert, was a beautiful compound. It had parks, it had lakes, it had water. Whenever I was with the Mojahedin, I always drank their water. I did not want bottled water because it was very sanitary, very safe. I found a hospital that was very functional. I found generator buildings. And what impressed me perhaps most of all was the mosque. The mosque, even though it had the double steeple of a Shia mosque, was open to all in the community. The Sunnis would come in and worship. The Shias would worship. They would worship together. The Americans were welcomed in the mosque. It was an open facility that all of us could go into. That is showing a very progressive society. If Iraq really wanted to step forward and do great things, they could get with Ashraf and learn how out of a desert a beautiful compound could be developed. I found the residents properly fed, properly clothed, and free to come and talk to us whenever I would visit their compounds, which was frequent, at least weekly, if not more sooner. Sometimes at night I would go out to one of their guard posts and just sit with them and enjoy some of their Ashraf Col and just be able to share some moments. One of the biggest problems I found when I was dealing at Ashraf, unfortunately, was our own State Department. Now, it's no secret, it's been well publicized. Our State Department did not send a lot of its best, but it sent second and third tier people to to Iraq to work. We are still paying the price of that one to this day. One worker that was specifically assigned to Ashraf was a very hostile influence, would come up and very much belittling, generating reports that were totally wrong, and I found out painfully she was feeding the National Security Advisor, Rubier, sensitive information, which he was feeding straight to Iran. And also I found, working with the State Department, they were very stovepiped. When I came back to the United States, a personal commitment to now Lieutenant General Jack Gardner, even though I was assigned back to the Pentagon, I was going to go to the State Department and work the issue. General Gardner remains a friend to this day. We stay in continual communication up to including this week. And likewise, fellow warriors, we always stay together. I committed to him I would continue to work this issue. When I got to the State Department, I found people working the Ashraf issue had no idea. I had to show them the photos. I had to show them pictures of leadership. I had to basically give them Ashraf 101. We also addressed the issues of, did they attack the Kurds? I provided them documentation from Mr. Zubari, who is the head of the Kurdistan Democrat Party International Relations, who said they didn't. The very next report coming out from the State Department claimed they did. And it was very, very frustrating to work with people who weren't talking to each other and weren't working with each other and was actually basing their intelligence on rumors, which brings me to the point. They're intelligence reports. I keep being told, oh, we have classified documents. And I'd asked State Department, I said, okay, let's go over them. I have a top secret clearance with special accesses, and from Department of Energy, I have a Q clearance. How much more top secret do you want? Well, we can't show them to you. Then how do we validate them? And we never were able to see those documents to confirm the validity. We need to go ahead and have the openness for the State Department. Show us what you've got. If you don't, then we have to assume you're basing it on rumors. One serious rumor, and I'll move on quickly, that concerned Ashraf, we received from this same agent while I was there, this State Department person, is they were recruiting and training Iraqis to go ahead and join. Given the name of the compound and the grids, I went to the compound with Fareed, and what we found were Iraqi workers staying there during the week because if they came and left, the death squads would pick them up and kill them. They would take the paycheck home to the family on the weekend, stay with the family, and come back. They were local workers, nothing more. Again, I found myself chasing what I called foxfires, which is like swamp gas, continually getting to where the source of the light is claimed to be, and you get there is no light. I fear that a lot of the State Department reports are just like this. Let me tell you right now, the Maliki government can't be trusted. We found we were continually busting illegal Iraqi detention facilities, to include on the Minister of Interior's own compound. One of my own convoys was attacked, and one of my soldiers picked up the tab on that one when they were driving through an Iraqi checkpoint, and as the police went running to hide, the convoy commander realized he's in the middle of a fight. And sure enough, the fight immediately kicked up. Recently, Maliki has attacked his own demonstrations in Baghdad, but that was both Shia and Sunni, and he attacked them and had his troops attack him with guns, knives, and bayonets, and clubs. This government cannot be trusted to do the harder right instead of the easier wrong. We can expect no better of the Maliki government with a PMOI. And don't take these assurances, and I say to Hillary Clinton, do not take assurances that Maliki's saying, oh, it's okay, we'll do the right thing. We need to stop reacting with rumors and saying, oh, the Mojahedin did this, the MEC did this, the MEC did that, and then go with facts. And when the facts are pointed out, these rumors quickly disappear. It almost reminds me, unfortunately, the way it carries on, especially at State Department, the old John Wayne movie, Liberty Valance. When a legend becomes a fact, print the legend. Unfortunately, our State Department continues to use the rumors as the fact and then print those rumors. As I mentioned at the beginning of this briefing, our forefathers gave us the means of reevaluating what we are doing as a nation. We do need at this time to take actions to prevent this from being a mistake in our history. We've made mistakes in the past. Slavery was a mistake. The way we treated the Native Americans was a mistake. The way we treated the Japanese Americans was a mistake. Let's fix this mistake before it becomes permanently locked in history. It is already the cost in the lives of a lot of good people. Now we have the opportunity to step forward. And I would call on the State Department to do the harder right instead of the easier wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.